Hey everyone, it's Jaden here from SpeedCubeShop.com, and today we're taking a look at a highly anticipated cube, the DianSheng FTO. For those of you guys who don't know what an FTO is, it's a kind of strange cube that has this almost like cult following around it. It's probably the most likely cube to be added as the next event to the WCA, along with something like Killaminx or Mirror Blocks, but I would say this probably has a much better chance. So let's just dive right into this cube. It's pretty simple packaging. It's a really small box. You just pull the top off. We have this instruction guide here, and we have the actual cube. So I'm not super into FTO. I do know a little about it, like I know how to solve it. I average around a minute 30. However, I did invite someone that actually knows a lot more about FTOs and other stuff relating to it. So welcome Sam to the video.
Hey everybody, I'm Sam, and thanks Jaden for bringing me on. So the DianSheng FTO is one of the most revolutionary pieces of hardware we've had for this event in a long time. Before we had the DianSheng FTO, we had some other pieces of hardware, such as the Landline FTO, which was pretty much the only FTO you could commercially get for over a decade. There were some other FTOs like the DianSheng and the Taiwanese FTO, but those quickly became irrelevant, and this was pretty much your best option. You had to mod it, and it's just not great. Then further along, we had what is currently and maybe the past hardware, which is the RexTO. So the RexTO is simply made out of a Qi Super Ivy cube. Pretty nice, mine is magnetic, and essentially you just 3D print some parts and you get a really nice FTO. However, thanks to DianSheng, we finally have a viable piece of hardware that we can use to speed solve this event. And the pricing for this event is super nice. It comes in at $17.95, meaning it's very accessible and not much more than the Landline. The DianSheng color scheme comes with blue, red, purple, and yellow in the same orbit, and you have white, orange, green, and gray on the other orbit. So you have this sort of nice blend of colors. So I'm gonna compare this to the RexTO, which is pretty much the best hardware we have right now. Right away, you'll notice that the size difference is pretty noticeable. Whereas the RexTO and the Landline FTO come in at 70 millimeters, the DianSheng FTO comes in at around 66 to 67 millimeters, meaning that you get a nice small puzzle that comfortably fit in your hands. That stuff out of the way, let's do some first turns. So right off the bat, I can tell that this is a very nice FTO. Out of the box, this is like a pretty, almost tight feeling to it, which is probably easy to remedy with a bit of loosening. But overall, it feels really nice, flows smoothly. Can definitely get used to this. All right, so now let's put some Martian in the cube, just give a nicer feel to it. One thing I would recommend is if you're gonna lube an FTO, make sure you do sort of sides right next to each other. If you're doing it like these two, that's not gonna help distribute the lube evenly. I'll do like right next to each other, that way the lube moves around on both orbits, meaning you get an even feeling.
More adjacent than like.
Awesome. So let's do a solve. So overall final thoughts, I think this is a really great FTO and I definitely recommend everyone purchase it. The layers are really nice. They feel buttery smooth. They have a nice sort of almost not scratchy, but almost a little bumpy feeling thanks to the magnets. And you can really tell they're in there. I did have a bit of an issue where the magnets popped out, so that may signify that they're not being held in completely securely. So you might want to watch out for that. So the piece design is actually a bit unique compared to other FTOs. The biggest thing is that instead of using these sort of spherical cuts, they use conical cuts, meaning you get bigger pieces to hold in the triangles, but that does kind of mean that the edges are a little less secure, and internally they have heard that some people have popped it. So just be on the lookout for that. So I did have to do a bit of adjusting to it. So that means just loosening it a little bit. For those starting out and who are interested in FTO, I wouldn't really advise needing to do it, since for the vast majority of people, you're not gonna be turning really fast or kind of aggressively. But for those out there who are experienced, I definitely recommend loosening it just a tad bit. I think it's definitely the next event to join the WCA. So hopefully we get to see this as an event soon. And I just want to thank Jaden for having me on.
All right, so I have not had a chance to try it out set up. Now, I have tried it, straight out of the box. I used it quite a bit yesterday, so I do know what it feels like originally. So I'm just gonna do a solve and then I'll give my thoughts on it. So for my final thoughts, this cube is really good, even just straight out of the box. Both me and Sam agree. We both have varying levels of expertise on this cube, but we both agree that out of the box, really solid release from DianSheng. When the cube is set up, it feels really nice. Even just adding a small bit of Martian and just loosening the tensions by a small bit, the cube feels significantly better. There are a couple of things here and there that, need improvement, but this is just a really big jump in hardware and a great release and super important to those in the FTO community. And rumor has it that Dian might also be releasing an FTO maybe before the end of the year. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment down below whether or not you'll be picking one of these up and if it should become an event in the WCA. Again, that's all for now. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.